It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The Angels are back home in Cactus League play as they host the world champions, the Kansas City Royals. Back inside Tempe Diablo Stadium, where the Angels are certainly happy to be back home. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Jose, nice victory for the Angels yesterday, beating a division rival, the Seattle Mariners. Nice comeback win. Today, the world champions in town. We'll talk about Kansas City, but we want to talk about number 5. He will be in the lineup for the Angels today, and that's first baseman, designated hitter, Albert Pujols.
He's made it very clear, Terry, that anytime there's a question about whether Pujols is going to play or not, he answers it very quickly by being ready. And I know that after the surgery in November on the plate in his right foot, well, he said, I'm going to go to spring training and get ready for opening day. And here he is as a designated hitter. We saw what happened last year, how good the Angels are when he is at first base, but even better when he is in that lineup. Last season, for the 7th time in his career, he gets 40 or more home runs, and I think we all know what he means to the Angels in the middle of the lineup, but also his accomplishments personally and where he stands in the history of this great baseball game.
So the Angels are certainly excited to have Pujols in the lineup. His teammates are mighty excited as well. Let's talk about left field. That was kind of a black hole for the Angels last season. 12 different Angel players played that position. Only 9 home runs out of that position. And there certainly are a lot of people that Mike Scioscia and Billy Epler are looking at to fill the void in left field this year.
And so far, you know, in limited time, guys are looking very well. Daniel Nava we're talking about, and Craig Gentry. And it's one of those positions where you hope, you know, that question gets answered early in camp, unlike what happened last season in camp with the second base situation not answered until the last week. But for so far, Nava doing a good job swinging the bat from both sides of the plate. We saw it on display yesterday. Line drive, nice stroke. Also showing some power gap to gap from both sides of the plate. Also, very similar approach. Short to the ball, not afraid to work a deep at bat and understanding where he fits, whether in the top of the lineup as a table setter and maybe even in the bottom third, getting some big runs in. So far, what we've seen, even in the workouts, is the coverage from both of them in left field. Gentry especially with that coverage he has and that speed he has in left field and in the outfield. But I think overall having a righty-lefty platoon certainly becomes a nice luxury for Mike Scioscia, considering, Terry, all the problems you mentioned already on last season and the problematic numbers and production for the Angels in left field overall in 2015.
Well, for the Angels to get to where they want to be, they need a lot better production out of left field here in 2016. Let's turn to pitching now. Nick Tropiano will go for the Angels. He's fighting for a spot in that Angel rotation.
He showed the Angels last year when it really counted that he has the stuff to be a quality big league starter. Acquired from the Astros, much seasoned now as a big leaguer. There was only 2 Angels pitchers last year that got to 11 strikeouts. Well, it was Garrett Richards and guess what? Nick Tropiano. If he can avoid the troubles that followed him all throughout last season in that 5th inning, he's going to be just fine. His stuff is very well polished, outstanding changeup, throws a contact, gets ground ball, and last year averaged over a strikeout an inning in the big leagues, and his numbers in the big leagues there were even better than they were in AAA.
So Nick Tropiano getting to baseball for the Angels today here in Tempe. Kansas City is the opponent today. They've been to the World Series back-to-back years, came away with the World Series victory against the Mets last season. They're off to a little bit of a slow start here in the Cactus League. They've yet to win in their first 4, but I don't think they're overly concerned about that.
They're not concerned. They're a fun group to watch, and there's no doubt that many people around America learn about Ned Yost, how loose he is with his ball players, just allows them to go out there and play the game. Yes, they did have, again, an outstanding bullpen. In fact, the only bullpen that in the American League had an ERA under 3. But Terry, they were clutch. 281 with runners in scoring position, and the fact that it's a balanced ball club all the way around with a base running as a threat makes it even more threatening to anybody playing against them on that diamond.
So the Angels in action against the Kansas City Royals. Nick Tropiano going for the Angels, a big right-hander. Chris Young will get the baseball for the Kansas City Royals. The action is coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
And welcome back to Tempe Diablo Stadium. So glad you could join us here on this cloudy, cooler day here in the Valley as the world champion Kansas City Royals visit the Angels. And the Angels with Mike Scioscia, the Royals with Ned Yost. Nice crowd at hand all the way around. A lot of red, plenty of blue around, of course, as these two get together once again. And the starting lineups are brought to you by McDonald's. I am loving it. For the Royals, leading off, youngster speedster prospect Raul Mondesi Jr. at shortstop. Christian Colon, World Series hero himself, at second base batting second. Lorenzo Cain, a tremendous glove in center field, batting third. Alex Gordon, re-signed as a free agent, is in left field batting fourth. Salvador Perez, catcher. Salvador Perez, designated hitter, is batting fifth today. Paulo Orlando is batting sixth in right field. Cheslor Cuthbert, third baseman from Nicaragua, is batting seventh. Whit Merrifield will bat eighth, playing first base, and catcher Tony Cruz is batting ninth. So Perez, designated hitter, Cruz is a catcher today for Kansas City. For the Angels, Yunel Escobar leads off at third base. Daniel Nava moves up to the number 2 spot. Both of them off to good starts, along with Mike Trout, who is batting third in center field. Making his spring debut for the Angels, designated hitter Albert Pujols. Cleanup. Cole Calhoun moves down to the number 5 spot as Mike Scioscia tries to test the waters and see what combination is better for him in all the matchups. Calhoun, Rojo is in right field batting fifth. C.J. Cron is batting sixth. He's at first base, where he'll see a lot of action all throughout the spring. Anderson Simmons from Curacao is batting seventh at shortstop. Carlos Perez is behind the plate batting eighth, and batting ninth is former Royal and Angels spark plug last year, Johnny Giavotella, at second base. So Chris Young with that stature, and he is a big man. A successful season for them last year against Nick Tropiano, who we know very well, Terry, did a very fine job when the Angels needed him later in the season.
Yeah, he was on the shuttle last season between AAA Salt Lake and Big A, and overall appeared in 8 games for the Angels last year, 7 as a starter, and had a 3-2 record with a 3.82 ERA. The umpires today calling balls and strikes behind the plate will be Dana DeMuth, and on the bases Brian Gorman, Carlos Torres, and Chris Siegel. So we are just about ready for the start of the ball game. Dimensions here in Tempe: 340 down the left field side, 420 to dead center, 360 down the right field corner, and the alleys in left center and right center go 400 feet. Here's the first pitch today to Mondesi, and the switch hitter takes that one a little bit low for a ball. We're underway. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Raul Mondesi, only 20 years old. And here's the next pitch on him. He chops that one on the first base side, a foul ball, hit it off his foot. 75 degrees as things have cooled off a bit. Pretty heavy cloud cover today here in the valley. Very comfortable weather for baseball.
Oh, there's no doubt. Comfortable also for the outfielders and infielders as they track pop-ups.
Here's the 1-1. Grounded on the right side. That's a good stop by Cron. Gets up, flips to Tropiano, and they get Mondesi, who can run. That's the game's first out. 3-1 on the ground out. Christian Colon will be the next batter.
Excellent job by C.J. Cron. The whole infield, of course, respecting Mondesi's speed, was playing in, guarding against the bunt, but Cron knew exactly also where Johnny Giavotella was to his right, and he knew he had to expand that reach out to the right.
Nick Tropiano, good sinker, slider, good changeup. He'll throw a split finger fastball as well, and here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike.
Christian Colon, one of those stories, Terry, where you just never know where that game-winning hit in a World Series is going to come from.
Yep. Here's the next pitch, and he takes that one low for a ball.
It was from this former Titan.
That's right. Colon, a first-round pick, Kansas City, and that was back in 2010. He was the 4th player selected in that draft. 2 balls and 1 strike to count around the infield. The Angels have C.J. Cron at first base, Johnny Giavotella at second, Yunel Escobar at third. There's a fly ball lifted into left, chasing and making a nice catch on that one is the left fielder Daniel Nava. Got that about waist high there toward the line, not too deep down the left side. That's the second out. Outfield for the Angels. You mentioned Nava made the catch in left. Trout's the center fielder. Cole Calhoun in right. Carlos Perez catching. Albert Pujols DHing. And Nick Tropiano pitching.
Nice job there by Nava. Going off, not the full swing, but the sound of the bat. That ball dying and he coming in.
Here's Lorenzo Cain stepping up. He was a 300 hitter a year ago. And the pitch. That's right in there for a called strike.
It was one team that all throughout the postseason last 2 years just show that swag, man. They are confident. They go out there and get it done. They have fun.
There's a foul ball on the right side, back to the seats.
And that parade is watching from the high cameras from the sky helicopters. It was unbelievable. The sea of blue that we saw in Kansas City all the way around when they paraded the world champions.
Here's the pitch, and that one is waved at and missed. A nasty pitch, dropping low and away, gets Cain, and that's how the inning went. Strong inning for Tropiano as he sets him down cleanly here in the top of the first. Bottom of the first is coming up. It'll be Escobar, Nava, and Trout for the Angels. No score from Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Today's game being brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. So we go to the bottom of the first, no score. Yunel Escobar will lead things off for the Angels. 5 at bats so far this spring with a couple of hits. Right-handed batter in the first pitch. He drills that one into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Let's see if he goes for 2. He's going to make the big turn and then go back to first base, as quickly getting the ball back to the infield is one of the better corner outfielders in the game from a defensive standpoint, Alex Gordon. It's a leadoff single, though, for Escobar, and here's Daniel Nava.
He's wasting no time. He knows Chris Young is not going to overpower you. Also, he's trying to get a fastball over first start of the spring, and Yunel wastes no time getting on top of that high fastball.
So Nava, who's been hot so far in the early going here in the Cactus League, 4 for 6, 4 RBIs, 3-hit game yesterday, will be the next batter. Switch hitter batting from the left side, and the first pitch, Young misses high with that one for a ball. Young was a starter and a reliever, almost a 50-50 split between starts and relief appearances last year, but this season they're counting on him to be one of the anchors in their rotation.
Rewarded with a multi-year contract. What a fine job for them. What a great find he was. actually last spring.
Here's the pitch, and that one is outside. He's a guy that's had a lot of shoulder issues in the past, and he is a big guy, 6'10", 255 pounds, 36 years old. Former college basketball player Chris Young, and the pitch, and that one is outside. He played some college basketball at Princeton, an Ivy Leaguer. 3-0 now on NAVA.
I like the look of this lineup right here, especially if NAVA is on his game with a reputation of being a good on-base guy and a guy that takes a lot of pitches. I love to see him with that table setter.
And there's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. So 2 on, and now Mike Trout will step to the plate. Trout's 3 for 5 so far this spring with run batted in.
Those 2 outs have been 2 scorchers.
Yeah.
He's hit everything hard in 5 trips to the plate.
Yeah. Angels have on the red tops, white pants, and the Royals have on the blue tops, the gray pants. Bit of a breeze blowing from left to right as Trout digs in against the big guy Young, and the first pitch, that one is in there for a strike. Chris Young, even though he's a big man, he's not a real hard thrower. Fastball top out around 90. Good slider. He'll throw a sinker, curve, and changeup. Next pitch. This is bounce foul over on the third base side. So the count jumps to 0-2 on Trout.
It was fun watching Trout walking up to home plate, and he's taking a look at Chester Cuthbert at third base and saying, hey, I might drop a bunt on you. When's the last time we saw Trout bunt? 3 years ago?
Not too often. But then again,
for what?
Why have him bunt?
Exactly.
So Mike deep in the hole here. It's no balls and 2 strikes, 2 on, no outs. And he reaches at that pitch, bounces it to short. They go to second for 1. Relay not calling the catch. The speedy Trout. So it'll be a fielder's choice. Angels have him at the corners with 1 out for Albert Pujols and his first at bat this spring.
There's absolutely no doubt. Mike Trout has to hit a ball so hard right at somebody for it to turn into a double play. And that one, when he's leaning forward, he's got way too much ground already covered on his way to first base.
So here's Albert. He drove in 95 for the Angels a year ago. He steps up here with a runner at third and the speedy Trout over there at first base.
He's a good guy to run on, too.
Yeah. Young ready, Trout not going, and the pitch on Albert. He lifts a high pop on the left side, shallow left field. The shortstop Mondesi is back. He'll make the catch, and nothing that the lead runner Escobar can do but hold at third base. So not what Albert was hoping for right there. An easy pop out to the shortstop. Now 2 gone with runners at the corners, and the batter will be Cole Calhoun.
Good to see number 5 back on the field after so many questions lingering all throughout the offseason as to whether he was going to be on the field this early in spring.
Calhoun batting in the 5 spot. And we talked about that a couple days ago. Mike Scioscia hinted that he might take a look at Cole Calhoun hitting behind Albert this season. There goes Trout, and the pitch is cut on and fouled back. Trout got a big jump right there. He would have had an easy steal a second, but a pitch that Calhoun was chasing and fouls off.
Oh, that's the difference between Calhoun being a run producer, where he's saying, well, you know what, you might have gotten a good jump, but I'm here to produce runs. I got to swing at that fastball. Trout, good jump. Chris Young allowed 18 stolen bases last year.
0-1 the count. Toss over to first. Back to the bag goes Trout. Around the infield for the Royals, Whit Merrifield. Player from the minors is playing first base. Christian Colon at second. Cheslor Cuthbert is the third baseman, and Raul Mondesi is the shortstop. Alex Gordon in left. Lorenzo Cain in center. Pablo Orlando is in right. They have their starting outfield here. And the pitch, there's a bunt try with 2 outs on Cole Calhoun, and he fouls that one off.
Well, let's make that a spring training play, and that's it, especially in this situation here. Now, for Cole Calhoun, let's remember one thing too, Terry, is when they put the shift on you during a regular season, then to me that's a very good play.
So 2 strikes on him. We're playing him basically straight up around the infield here. Young is ready. Here's his next pitch. Calhoun reaches the one and lifts a lazy fly ball to Alex Gordon, the left fielder. He will one-hand it, and that's how the inning will end. Angels had a threat at him at the corners with 1 out but failed to score. We head to the second, scoreless here in Tempe. Angels and Royals on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Second inning, no score. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of today's game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels Baseball. So Tropiano faces Alex Gordon, and the first pitch, he checks his swing. That one's in there for strike 1. Alex Gordon was a free agent when last season ended, and he tested the free agent market. There were times where it looked like he was going to leave Kansas City, but ultimately signed a 4-year deal with them.
And he admitted, yeah, he tested the free agent market, but also the free agent market tested him and his patience.
1-1. That one is low.
As was the case for so many other very fine players who paid a price with this system. But he landed well, and he landed with a good money where he wanted to be.
There's a pitch cut on and missed. Good off-speed pitch fools Gordon right there, and he's got a couple strikes on him. Dayton Moore, their general manager, said he always knew he was going to have the last shot to try and get Alex Gordon, and that he knew despite everything that was going on as far as other teams kind of putting packages together, he knew that he would be able to at least give the Royals call as far as a contract for Gordon after all the other offers were on the table. And there's a swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Gordon. Good job by Tropiano. Looks sharp here. He's retired 4 in a row, a pair of strikeouts.
Terry, when that happens and the player is honest, the representatives are honest and he wants to play there, it's a win-win for both. There's no doubt.
There's Salvador Perez, their young catcher. 25 years old. He's already done a lot of good things at a young age in this game. One of the best catchers in baseball, and the pitch. And that one is a strike. He was the World Series MVP. And just a few days ago, renegotiated his contract with Kansas City. He got a 6-year deal, as it turns out, that will run through the 2021 season.
Well, it added to an extension on a contract that already existed when the Royals themselves took a chance on Salvador after a few months in the big leagues.
Here's the 1-1 on him. And he waves at that pitch, and Tropiano has some off-speed stuff working here today. He's getting some swings and misses.
Outstanding movement all the way around. And pitching coach Charles Nagy was telling me before the game, he really has a good feel for everything coming out of his hand, especially separating with the off-speed.
Next delivery, it's popped into shallow left center field. Trout is coming in. He's calling everyone off. The shortstop Simmons went back to the outfield on that one, and Trout's playing. That's the second out.
That's one we noticed since yesterday when Simmons took the field for the first time. He's only playing a second game at shortstop, but he will go after pretty much everything up in the air in that shallow area. But you also notice how quickly he is to peel off, understanding who is playing behind him.
Pablo Orlando will be the next batter. Orlando, a right-handed hitter. And the pitch. He lifts one in the air. It's hit pretty well in the right center field, but looks like a routine play for Trout. He'll make the running catch. And it's another quick, clean inning for Tropiano. He's retired the first 6 in a row. Bottom of the second is coming up. Angels will have Cron, Simmons, and Perez stepping up to the plate. There's no score in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the bottom of the second inning. C.J. Cron leads it off. Scoreless ball game, Angels and Kansas City. Young is ready. His first pitch on Cron. That one misses high for ball one. Infield backed up. The outfield playing Cron around to pull. Here's the 1-0 on C.J. Cron. That's low and in ball two. 2 balls, no strikes.
I can see Cron getting on one of those fastballs and using a big part of the field. And hopefully finishing off that swing to drive something. The Angels still looking for their first home run this spring.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. That's hit sharply and out of the reach of the diving second baseman Colon. In the gap, it'll roll in right center, cutting the ball off Orlando. Cron is going to gamble, go for 2, and he has a hustle double. Good aggressive base running there by C.J. Cron.
Brilliant job getting out of the box, and that's why that double became a double. Right through the infield. Of course, you're going to understand now with the defensive placements and shifts, he knew exactly how far the right fielder and the center fielder had to go for that ball. Made a decision early, and there he is.
Here's Andrelton Simmons, the Angels shortstop, at the plate. Right-handed batter takes that one for ball one. Simmons looking for his first hit in the Cactus League. He's 0 for 6.
Well, after a lot of hits in the Grapefruit League, he's trying to break the ice here. But Yunel Escobar, the first time for Simmons out of Florida for spring training.
Here's when he bounces on the right side. Nice stop by Colon. It's going to get the runner to third. The throw is in time to get Simmons, but a productive out. One away, runner at third for Carlos Perez.
All that entire Angels dugout understands the importance of doing exactly that, especially when you hit the bottom of the order. That's some bat control, and for Simmons, in fact, that whole approach is going to be useful for him this season and beyond, and using the other part of the field.
So they've brought the infield in a bit. And we'll see if Carlos Perez can bring home Cron. Here's the first pitch. He goes after it, pops it in the air into right field. Making the grab on it is Orlando. Cron is going to tag. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Well, a couple times in this inning, C.J. Cron has tested Orlando, the right fielder, with throws. 1-0 Angels.
Well, it's great to see those chances you're taking here early. Why not? Go out there and test the waters. Test your limits. You're talking about challenging a very reliable throw in Orlando. But for Cron, once again, the first step out of the box when he was a hitter, and also the first couple steps pushing off third base to make it easily into home plate.
Yeah, that ball wasn't hit very deep to right field, but it scores Cron. So Angels up 1-0, 2 outs. Johnny Giavotella is showing signs of bunting, and the first pitch he takes it for a strike.
Darren, who's to say out there that there's not one thing called productive outs? There's 2 of them right there. You get you the run. And the value of putting the ball in play. In fact, that's the Royals about that, how they won. So how they made it to the playoffs and the World Series the last couple of years.
Yeah, the Angels kind of took a page out of the Royals book right there. Although the Angels might have authored that book a few seasons earlier.
Well, that book goes back way, way, way long ago before the Angels were around.
Yep.
That's just how to play the game right.
Right.
With what do you have?
Nice to see the aggressive running by the Angels here in the inning.
That's going to be huge all throughout the season. Can't say it enough. Base running, speed, never go into slumps.
Here's the 2-1 on Giavotella. He chops this one foul on the left side. Johnny Giavotella, former Kansas City Royal. He has a number of friends on that other side of the field.
In fact, a lot of those friends today telling me how happy they were that Johnny got a shot to be a big leaguer full time, and how well Johnny performed for the Angels. You know, some guys were telling me before the game, it seemed like later in the season, every highlight we saw, Johnny was involved.
There's one a little bit low. Giavotella was a clutch hitter for the Angels, especially the second half of the season when he got back. 49 runs batted in for him last year. Counts full. We'll see what gives on the payoff. Giavotella lines that one down the left side. It's a fair ball, and that's going to be extra bases. It rolls all the way down to the left field corner. Giavotella is going to head for 3. Boy, the Angels are running today. The throw gets away at third base, and he's there safely. So Giavotella has a triple, and boy, had the Angels been aggressive running the bases here in this second inning.
Just hits up all the way around. Johnny has that play right in front of him. As he approaches second base, he notices Gordon has a little bit of trouble picking up that baseball, and there's no doubt he's going to be taking a chance there, considering the rush and perhaps not the best grip. He's going to be seeing out of Alex Gordon, a Gold Glove left fielder.
So Escobar will bat. He singled to lead off the Angels' first inning. Looking for a 2-out hit here to bring in Giavotella, and the first one a called strike.
Thursday? Yeah, they called me and said.
Infield back with 2 outs. 0-1 pitch. That's low, smothered by the catcher. Tony Cruz is catching. Salvador Perez, who's in the lineup, is DHing their regular catcher. Cruz with Kansas City now. He'd been Yadier Molina's backup in St. Louis in the past.
And the other catcher in that depth chart, former Angel Drew Butera.
Next pitch. Here's a fly ball lifted to right center, not deep, and it should be an easy play. Orlando will make the catch, and the Angels will settle for just 1 here in the bottom of the second. 1 run, a couple hits, no errors, and a runner left at third. The third inning is next. Angels have a 1-0 lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. One nothing Angels as we head to the third inning. Fans, register your little angel for the 2016 Junior Angels Kids Club for only $18. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers, a Junior Angels lunch bag, and other exclusive gifts. Sign up today at angels.com/Junior Angels. So 1-0 Halos as we start the third. Our score update, it's brought to you by Experian. Get serious about your credit by visiting Experian.com. New pitcher for the Angels, Kansas City native Mike Morin, as he faces the Royals now. Nick Tropiano worked the first 2 innings, retired 6 in a row with 2 strikeouts. So here is Cheslor Cuthbert, and the first pitch, and that one hits him. He turned his back to try and get out of the way and takes it off the back area. Morin off to a little bit of a shaky start here in his first inning of relief, hitting the first batter on the first pitch, and the next batter will be Whit Merrifield.
Goes by a lot considering the catcher Carlos Perez was setting up. As Warren just lost his arm slot and release point.
Merrifield last year at AAA hit .265. He can run. He had 32 stolen bases. And there's a pitch that's low.
You know, we're looking at him going, this guy looks more like a middle infielder than a first baseman, but we also found out last year in AAA. He played every position but pitcher and catcher.
Yeah.
The guy that they think has a pretty good bat.
He lifts this one down the right field side. A foul ball. It's going to get back and out of play. We have a big crowd here today in Tempe. And it'll be interesting to find out a little bit later on the official attendance for this ball game. But we're certainly in the sellout range here today.
Great to see the whole split between red and blue.
Tony Cruz, the 9-hole hitter, the catcher's waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch, and that's popped up on the right side, backing out of play. Murray Field, a right-handed batter. We'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard on this Sunday in just a moment. It's brought to you by Jeep Cherokee. With an estimated 31 miles per gallon highway, it's the perfect choice. Visit Jeep.com for more information. Next delivery, it's chopped out to short. Might be two. Flip to second. Relay to first. Got him. Double play. Murray Field, we mentioned, can run. He had 32 steals a year ago, but the Angels double him up at first base. And with 2 outs, no one on, here's Tony Cruz.
So there's some silky hands up the middle for Andrelton Simmons. I don't think that ball even touched the glove. The way he flipped it out to Johnny Givatello is what allowed that close play to go in the Angels' favor.
So Cruz stepping up. Morin's pitch. And here's a pop-up foul behind the plate. Perez is going back. Will he have a play? No. That one lands right over where all the Angels coaches are seated, not far from the Angels on deck circle and foul ground, back near the screen.
Well, Terry, we saw that double play turn. How about this morning and all the fun Mike Socha was having, splitting a couple of groups around the infield and timing them and competing on who had the fastest time turning a double play.
Yeah, you're reading my mind on that. That was
and
that
after
was
that,
fun.
it was like a celebration.
You had a bunch of guys jumping up near the second base bag, the winning team that had the fastest double play turn. And that was kind of a new little spring training twist we saw here today. Earlier this morning.
It was good to see Mike Socha come out just fine. No pull hammies, no Achilles issues.
Yeah, you kind of saw that celebration at second base. It was kind of like a home plate celebration when you get a walk-off hit to win a ball game.
All I can say is keep the fun going because we play good baseball in the regular season.
1-2 is the count here on Perez. Or I should say on Cruz, and here's the pitch to him. He bounces this one on the third base side right at Escobar. Throw is way offline. That one getting away and breaking for second and sliding there safely will be Tony Cruz. Boy, that was a rough throw right there by Escobar. That ball was nowhere close to C.J. Cron, the first baseman.
Brunel just got way too comfortable on that one. He knows better as to playing third base and throwing across the diamond like that. He's got to get on top of it better than that.
And he had all the time in the world. The ball got down to him quickly. It was hit sharply, and then you have the catcher running to first base, but that throw nowhere near Cron. So a two-base error.
And keep in mind, with all the criticism that has come Escobar's way, he only committed 7 errors last year for Washington at third base in 134 games.
Here's the pitch on Mondesi. Bounces the ball towards short. This one is gobbled up by Simmons, and his throw just nips the speedy Mondesi, and that will end the inning. Good job on a tough play for Simmons on that ball that was softly hit. They fail to score in the inning, and we are headed to the bottom of the third with the Angels still on top of the Royals. 1-0 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Daniel Nava will be the first Angel batter to greet new pitcher Dylan G. He takes over for Kansas City. Chris Young worked 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, a run earned, walk 1, no strikeouts. And here's G, who appeared in 8 games, 7 as a starter with the Mets last year. There's a pitch in there for a called strike. Dylan G signed a minor league deal with the Royals this offseason. He was 0-3, 5.90 ERA with the Mets last year. The pitch, and that's inside. It misses. 1 ball, 1 strike in the Florida Grapefruit League as we check out the Jeep out-of-town scoreboard. Baltimore and Boston 4-4 in the 6th. Here's the next pitch, fouled back to the screen. Astros split squad trailing the Pirates 8-6 in the 6th inning. Duffy and Marisnik have hit home runs for Houston in that one. Detroit leading Miami 9-2. That's in the 7th. J.D. Martinez a home run for the Tigers in the 9th. Minnesota leads Tampa Bay 5-1. Phillies have doubled up the Yankees 6-3. That's in the 7th. There's one low and outside. And the rest of the games in the Grapefruit League. Other Astros split squad with a 7-1 lead against Toronto in the 9th. Colby Rasmus a home run for Houston. Washington leads St. Louis 5-2 in the 8th. And the Mets are up on Atlanta 7-5 in the 7th.
And apparently over in Twins camp, Coach Torrey Hunter is helping Miguel Sano make that transition from third base into the outfield. Torrey Hunter invited as a coach here in spring training and now enjoying retirement.
Here's a high fly ball that's lifted in the air, shallow right center. A lot of people charging after it. Coming in making the grab is the right fielder Pablo Orlando. So there is one away. Yeah, Torrey Hunter, not only is he retired now, he's also a grandfather.
Yes, he is. He said that little granddaughter's keeping him quite busy and in good shape.
Yeah.
Of course, being in good shape has never been an issue with Torrey Hunter.
So here's Mike Trout. And the first pitch, he takes it inside for ball 1. Trout with a fielder's choice his first time up. Dylan G is not a pitcher who will overpower you. And here's the next one. Tries to spot that one a little bit low and away for ball 2. Fastball, slider. He'll throw a cutter and a curveball. And he's always had a good changeup. He works fast, not overpowering. 2-0. And Trout tips that one foul right by home. 2-1, Mike.
Well, Dylan G has had to battle from blood clot issues, strained lateral on his right side, groin strings, and many things that kind of derail him in the way his career was going. He's only 3 years removed from having made over 30 starts for the Mets.
Here's the next pitch. Trout takes low and in, so he's worked the count 3-1 against Dylan G.
He is out of Cleburne, Texas.
The 3-1 on Trout. He'll take ball 4. It was high. So Mike has a 5-pitch walk. Angels have a base runner for Albert Pujols, who popped out to the shortstop his first time up.
Well, Mike Trout came into camp again saying he would like to steal more bases. And it starts now in spring training, not necessarily with the amount of bases you steal, but what you do at first base, starting with a good lead. He gets a little shy sometimes on taking bigger leads and being afraid of getting picked off.
There's a toss over to first. He dives back to the bag safely. Trout was running when Cole Calhoun batted back in that first inning, and Trout got a real good jump against Chris Young, but Calhoun fouled the pitch back.
Those are the times you go out there and test the water, see how far you can get, how comfortable can you get getting back.
First one on Albert. That's in there for a called strike.
And right away you see Trout looking in the dugout. He's getting information from his first base coach based on the delivery time to home plate. A lot of times you got to throw that out and just say, I know I have something on this guy, whether he's a 1-1 or 1-2 or 1-4, that I can steal a base off it.
And there's a cut and a miss. Albert fooled by that one, and he's down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Those guys with those exaggerated times with a slide step that are on the low ones. At some point, you do enough studying and get enough information. There's something they're tipping to you, or they can see from your catcher, whether they're going home or coming over.
Here's the 0-2. Pujols takes that one low. Albert was an all-star last year for the Angels. 10-time all-star. Of course, a 3-time league MVP back in his National League days with St. Louis. 40 homers a year ago for the Angels. And here's the next pitch. Chopped to third, right at Cuthbert. He goes to second for one. Relay easily gets Albert. And the inning is over on the double play. So Taylor made 5-4-3 to end the inning. Angels fail to score here in the third. We're headed to the fourth. It's a 1-0 Angels lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the fourth inning. Angels will use their third pitcher of the day. Corey Rasmus replaces Mike Morin. Morin had a scoreless third, hitting a batter. Other than that, everything was pretty good. And now Rasmus will work. Angels fans, enjoy Angels spring training in beautiful Tempe, Arizona for as low as $15 per seat. Visit angels.com/spring to purchase your tickets today. So the first batter up for the Royals is Christian Colon. And Rasmus looking in for the sign. Sunshine back out here in Tempe. Colon was in the box and backs out. Rasmus has made one appearance so far this spring, a scoreless inning. Here's his pitch. That's a little bit outside. It misses ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
He looked good first time out, just letting it go. He is a full max effort type of pitcher. I'm not going to fool you with that stature, but boy, he can really bring it. And now understanding more about incorporating and separating pitches with that outstanding curveball and changeup that he has.
Here's the next pitch. That one is lifted high and deep down the left field side. That's tight to the line down in the corner. Chasing after that ball and making a nice running catch on it is Daniel Nava. Boy, Nava never gave up on that one and caught that ball right near the line, deep in that left field corner. It goes 340 down that left side.
Some things we're learning very quickly about Nava and the ability that he has to cover ground and to get jumps, especially on that side. You're not going to be as limited going to your right. When you have Mike Trout on the other side, of course, you're going to be more careful. But nice running catch, glove side, made it look easy. Like he's been playing in this ballpark for a long time.
Here's Lorenzo Cain with one away, no one on. 1-0 Angels in the fourth. That's a called strike on the outside corner. Well, so far in the early going here in the Cactus League, we've seen some real good outfield play by the Angels yesterday. Ortega in right field. Of course, you know Cole Calhoun is a Gold Glover, the regular Angels right fielder. Trout, no errors last year. He's made a couple of nice plays already this spring. And Nava showing he can go after the ball a little bit out there in left field today.
The best throwing arm we have seen in camp is Rafael Ortega, hands down.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1. Kane takes that one low and away. So the count on him, 2 balls and 1 strike. Lorenzo Cain signed a 2-year deal with the Royals this offseason.
It was more of one of those deals like, you know what, let's just not even talk arbitration again next year. Let's take care of business. Same thing they did with Mike Moustakas.
Right. There's a pitch that misses ball 3, 3-1.
So that core group in their plans is going to be together at least for another couple of seasons as the Royals try to take advantage of that window.
Here's the next pitch. Fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
Terry, a happy birthday to a very special friend, former Royal star, former Angels manager, Cookie Rojas.
Wow, yeah.
Cookie Rojas, happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños, and good to hear Cookie's doing so well.
Yeah, he had some health issues last year, but reports have been very positive. Here's the 3-2. High pop into right center, medium right center field. Let's see who's going to call for it. It'll be Cole Calhoun. Trout came over, but it's Calhoun's play, and that's the second out. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves right here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Jerry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer-engineer, Darren Chan.
And Cookie Rojas, of course, the father of our good friend and colleague, Victor Rojas.
Absolutely.
Regular season Fox Sports West play-by-play here on TV with our friend, not another former Royal, Mark Gubza.
And the rumor has it Gooby will be here shortly in Tempe. He's going to be here for some of the broadcasts. 1 ball, no strikes on Alex Gordon.
Got the whole entourage here waiting for Goobster.
One and 0 is the count. Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on miss. Yeah, Gooby will have to kind of shift over to baseball mode because I know he's following all the politics that are going on, the primaries and the caucuses, so we're going to have to wean him over to the baseball side here shortly.
And some hockey too, right?
That's right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded on the right side out of the reach of Giavitello, and that's going to bounce on out to right center. So that's a 2-out hit for Gordon, and that's the Royals' first hit of the day. Salvador Perez will be the next batter. Perez flied out to center his first time up.
He's become one of those faces for the game of baseball. And as we and I are getting ready to do the TV Open, first Royal to walk in immediately makes a beeline towards the fans to go visit and sign some autographs.
Here's the pitch, and Perez takes that one low, and yeah, and that was on the first base side, which is the Angels dugout side. So they were mostly all Angel fans there, and he obliged. Good guy.
They jumped on a chance to get this all-star and World Series MVP's autograph. Very active is Salvador, also in social media. Very popular.
Well, Ned Yost, the manager for Kansas City, was right on the money a few years ago when, before Perez ever got to the big leagues, he said this guy has a chance to be a special talent. And the rest is history. There's a pitch for strike.
Former catcher evaluating a future catcher. He was right on the money. And as we talked about his contract extension, I mean, the faith showed by the Royals in giving him a multi-year deal after a couple of months in the big leagues. And, of course, saving themselves a lot of money, but eventually pairing things up by getting him this extension here a few days ago.
There's one that's fouled back behind the plate.
And I'll talk to some players, you know, the Royals unfairly were criticized for the amount of money they signed up for. But Terry, they took a chance on a player that had really stepped on the big leagues for under a year.
Yeah.
And they guaranteed him all this money. It could have gone the other way around. It could have flopped. And they're on the hook for this money. But I'm glad it's paid off nicely for both sides.
He has been in the Royals organization since he signed with them at age 16. There's a swing and a miss, and Perez is out, and Rasmus ends the inning striking out the Royals DH this afternoon. Kansas City fails to score here in the top of the fourth inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Angels still leading 1-0 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Cole Calhoun leading it off as we go to the Angels' bottom of the fourth. He takes the first pitch for strike one from Dylan G. G pitching in his second inning of relief. Angels only run, and the game's only run for that matter, coming in the bottom of the second, and it was a sac fly by Carlos Perez, bringing home C.J. Cron.
Well, the Angels have that run thanks to C.J. Cron's legs.
The 1-1 pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. Poker fans, play in the Gardens Casino $30,000 guarantee no limit hold'em tournament this Friday. Visit thegardenscasino.com for more info. Please play responsibly. Ball and 2 strikes on the Angels right fielder Cole Calhoun.
Well, Terry, let's take a look at this new Cole Calhoun 2-strike approach that we've seen here so far.
Calhoun asking for time, backs out of the box.
That approach involves cutting down on his stride forward and spreading out and covering the outer half better.
Here's the next pitch, and he bounces that one on the left side and just out of the reach of Cuthbert, the third baseman. Hit it in between third and short. Cole Calhoun has been a hot hitter, and that was a good job of 2-strike hitting.
Terry, I like it. If he carries that approach all the way around, of course, everything he hits or puts in play with 2 strikes is not going to be a hit, but his average is going to go up. He will get more RBIs by putting the ball in play, but also about taking away that shift and getting himself more base hits. That's outstanding there by Rojo.
So Cron, who doubled and scored his first time up as the batter, and he takes that one for strike one.
And Terry's, we have seen so many springs in our time in baseball, even away from the Angels, that you just hope that when that bell rings, just things don't change approach-wise. Because when that bell rings and the red light goes on, characters change.
Here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one is the count on C.J. Cron. Toss over to first base. Cole Calhoun has to dive back. Pretty good move on that throw to first base.
Cole's another player that, you know, he can pick his spots. Get some help from Ron Renicky. A little inclination here and there, a little tip here and there as to when it's a good time to run.
Here's the next delivery. A broken bat bouncer fair, third base side. It's a long throw for the third baseman Cuthbert, but he gets it there in time to get C.J. Cron. Calhoun moves up to second. 1 out. And Andrelton Simmons will be the next batter. Fans, don't forget, if your computer is running slow, go to mycleanpc.com. Get a free computer diagnosis. You can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that may be slowing down your computer. Check them out at mycleanpc.com. Simmons still looking for his first hit here in the Cactus League. Hit here could mean a run.
Nice job by Anderson hitting the ball the other way on a nice play by Christian Colon. Yes, Anderson moved the runner from second to third back in the second inning.
Here's the pitch. He cuts it that one and pops it up down the right side. Foul ball, chasing, running out of room is the first baseman Murrayfield.
He's another player that he has the potential, you know, crack out 15, 20 home runs maybe, but it's all about using the other side of the field. It's going to make him a more productive hitter. And he's already told me, boy, watching Mike Trout take batting practice, watching Albert Pujols can only be a plus on things that he can learn to not just work on during batting practice, but understand and put in his mind that they can work consistently to make him a more productive hitter by spraying the ball more.
Here's the pitch on Simmons. He fouls that one off on the right side. That's going to get back to the seats and out of play.
Just like that. Those are the good foul balls all that way.
Simmons is a free swinger, but a guy who normally makes contact. He's in the hole here, deep in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Carlos Perez waiting on deck. 1-0 Angels in the fourth. The pitch. There's a 2-hopper hit to the shortstop, fielded there by Mondesi. His throw is in time, and that will be the second out.
Here's what instincts will do for you. Earl Mondesi Jr., young player, played AA ball last year. But because of the foul balls by Simmons and the way he was staying inside the ball, you saw that ball leave the bat. He thought it was automatically up the middle base hit. But the Royals do a fine job positioning him, staying up the middle. And he is right there in a good spot to make that play.
So here's Carlos Perez batting with 2 outs, a runner at third. That one is right in there.
And the irony of saying Mondesi played AA last year is something we should fix, because he became the first player in the history of the major leagues to make his debut during the World Series.
Yeah. In a postseason game. That's right.
World Series game. First player ever in the history of the game to make his major league debut during the World Series.
Here's the 1-1. That's low, blocked by the catcher Cruz. 2-1 to count.
The way it happened, the Royals had Mondesi working out in Arizona after his season was over in AA.
1 or 2.
And before you know it, they tell him, you're going to come to Kansas City. He thought, well, maybe just to get the experience, be on the bench for the World Series. No, you're on the roster.
Here's the next delivery. It's hard hit, but right at the third baseman. Cuthbert with the throw in time, and the Angels fail to get that runner in. It ends on the ground out to third base. So 4 have been completed here in Tempe. The Angels still have a 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Driven by Fans, keep up to date on all things Angels baseball by liking and following the Angels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Find out how to follow your favorite Angels players at angels.com/connect. Al Albuquerque is the new pitcher for the Angels as we head to the 5th inning. We have seen Albuquerque on one occasion so far this spring, and he pitched a scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts. Albuquerque, former Detroit Tiger.
Career power arm has shown 276 career strikeouts in 225 innings. With that, of course, comes 125 walks.
Here's the pitch, and that's a little bit high and outside on Pablo Orlando. Here's the next pitch by Albuquerque, and that's right in there for a called strike. He replaces Torrey Rasmus, and Rasmus retired 3 of the 4 that he faced. A scoreless inning in the top of the 4th with 1 strikeout. Here's the next pitch. That's chopped down to third. Escobar has it. Throw is handled by Crone over there at first base, and that's the first out.
See the quick adjustment there by Escobar, playing much closer, showing some soft hands and getting his feet together, and this time after airmailing one previously, getting the correct arm slot and putting it in a good spot there for C.J. Crone.
So the batter now taking the first pitch for strike 1 is Cuthbert. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. That was the first pitch that Mike Morin threw to start off the 3rd inning. This one will even up the count. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now Albuquerque has a distinction that his career slugging against him. It's only 304, Terry. That is very low. In fact, career batting average against Albuquerque is only .213. And he had been a member of the Detroit Tigers bullpen from 2011 through 2015.
Has a good career earned run average as well, 3.20. Here's the pitch. That's lined in the center. It's going to drop in for a base hit right up the middle. Low line drive single for Cuthbert. So that's just the 2nd Kansas City hit with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And the batter will be Whit Merrifield, the first baseman who hit into a double play his first time up.
Good to see a guy like Cuthbert out of Nicaragua, where, of course, our favorite El Presidente comes from. Dennis Martinez, who managed, in fact, Cuthbert in the World Baseball Classic qualifier years back.
First pitch, a fastball misses on Merrifield. Angels have the defense at double play depth. Outfield is shading Merrifield a little bit the opposite way. Medium depth in the outfield. Toss over to first base. Cuthbert is back.
One of the things Mike Scioscia and Angels general manager Bill Epler saw when they had the opportunity to sign Al Albuquerque is first batter efficiency. Just go back and tell you in his career, leading off an inning against Al Albuquerque averages under 200, and the on-base percentage 327. So you figured the average that low and the on-base tilting high is because of the walks.
Pitch was missed. Throw down to second. Giavotella tried to get the tag on the runner. The throw looked like it got there in time, but the ball popped out of the glove of Johnny Giavotella. So safe at second is Cuthbert.
There's one that Johnny, of course, would want to have back. Getting back to the basics of starting with the baseball, and Johnny trying to apply a tag before he had it. And these are some of the things that when we talk about shortcomings on things that perhaps don't show up necessarily in the box score. That's one.
Here's a slow tapper hit on the third base side. Tough play for Escobar. Can't barehand it. And the ball ends up just kind of lying just to the third base side of the pitcher's mound. So that'll be an infield hit. Cuthbert moves over to third. They have him at the corners with one out. And Tony Cruz will be the next batter. I don't know if they ended up giving Cuthbert a stolen base or if that was an error on Johnny Giavotella.
So far, the only error we see is the one on Escobar.
Right. So they could have scored that in error on the second baseman. It's not a given that's a stolen base on a play like that. So Albuquerque is in some trouble. Not all his own doing in the pitch. That's foul back behind the plate. 0-1 is the count on Cruz. He reached on an error his first time up. Cruz is a guy, if you get him to hit it on the ground, you might be able to get out of this threat with a double play. Albuquerque delivers, and he misses high with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albuquerque is a player who, when he's on the mound, he will throw that slider quite a bit. He has a good one. He also has the power arm. He can get that fastball in the mid to upper 90s.
Yeah, that's all Mike Scioscia wanted to talk about when you talk about Albuquerque.
Next pitch. This is lifted in the air into center field. Not all that deep. Trout is going to make the catch. Let's see what the runner does. He will not tag at third. So Trout got it back toward the mound quickly. The cutoff man was prone standing out there. And Cuthbert thought about tagging, decides not to. He's still at third. 2 outs, runners at the corners, and Mondesi will be the next batter.
It was a one-hopper pretty much to the mound that Trout just could not get a good grip on. But as a base runner, that's where you tell yourself, well, I understand Mike Trout has been throwing the ball much better than in previous years. And you see how he's standing behind the baseball, charging in. And in that case, you do not anticipate that throw being that short. So you don't take a chance.
Escobar third, plays in. The runner at first breaks, and no throw to second. Ball popped out of the mid of Carlos Perez on the first pitch to Mondesi. So that'll be a stolen base. They've had a couple of them in the inning.
This is Royals baseball right here. Pressure on the infielders, make you catch a ball. We saw it all throughout the playoffs, especially in the World Series, forcing the Mets to not be able to play clean defense and paying a hefty price for that.
Pitch missed for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The Royals were 5th in the majors last year in stolen bases. They were 3rd in batting. Not a real big home run hitting team. They were 24th in the majors in home runs. Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air in the right center field. Coming over is Trout. He's not going to be able to get to it. One will score. Another comes in. And that's a 2-run single by the 20-year-old Raul Mondesi to give Kansas City a 2-1 lead. So they get a pair here with 2 outs. Ball wasn't hit all that deep. Trout came over, knew he wasn't going to be able to make the grab, laid it on a hop. And the Royals are up by a run, and Colon will be the next batter.
Just a blueprint of how they have had the success they've had offensively. As he mentioned, with a lack of power and everything, this is how the Royals get it done. Johnny Givatella does not make a catch. They keep the pressure on you stealing bases, putting the ball in play. Before you know it, they got a couple of runs. They were the second best hitting team with men in scoring position last year at 281 behind Toronto.
Here's the pitch. That's a ball. Snap throw to first. Mondesi dives back safely.
But the Royals, the men in scoring position in 2 outs, hit 278. The MLB average for men in scoring position in 2 outs was 233.
And a toss over to first base, and Mondesi is back. He's a threat to run. And hit by Mondesi with 2 outs here. His first hit this spring. And it gives Kansas City the lead at the moment. And a toss to first. He's back safely.
When you talk about the Royals and the offense, Terry, in the big ballpark, well, they're a better hitting team at home than they were on the road.
Here's the next pitch, and fooled on that one is Colon. Took kind of a half swing at that pitch. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the 5th, trailing at the moment 2-1. Giavotella, Escobar, and Nava are the batters scheduled. We'll see what the Royals do pitching-wise. It would certainly appear that Dylan G's day is over. Here's one fouled back upstairs and out of play. 1-2 the count.
Pretty much an outstanding crowd. Look at the parking lot. See the big A out there, that billboard in the parking lot in right field. Many people around the concourse. Happy to not have the sun burning them down at this point. Nice turnout for the weekend. And the I-10 real busy.
This is the Angels' second home game here in Tempe so far this spring. It'll start a stretch of quite a few home games over the next week and a half for the Angels. Angels will be here tomorrow. And tomorrow also is a split squad day, so the Angels will have one squad here, and that'll be against the White Sox, and another Angels team will play in Goodyear tomorrow against Cincinnati.
Well, the Angels' attendance last spring jumped up to 132,000 plus, from 108,000 up to 132,000.
There's a pitch out, nothing doing. So holding on at first was Mondesi. The Angels will host the Dodgers here on Wednesday, so that should be a lot of fun.
For sure, always. Nice rivalry.
There goes Mondesi. The pitch, a ball, throw down to second. Not in time. A stolen base. So Mondesi doing a lot of things here in this inning. Only 20 years old. You can see why the Royals are so excited about him.
Yeah, that's the role they saw with him and why they activated him for the World Series, coming off the bench and providing some speed. Stole 19 bases in 25 attempts last year in Double-A.
Here's a pitch trying to check on it, and going around is Colon. Struck him out, and that's how the inning will end. But a couple of runs on 3 hits in the inning, giving Kansas City a 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Kansas City leading the Angels 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score update is brought to you by Experian. Get serious about your credit by visiting Experian.com. So the new pitcher for the Royals wrapping up his warm-up tosses is Kelvin Herrera, and he has been a mainstay in their bullpen for several seasons now. 72 appearances last year, all in relief, had a 2.71 ERA. Opponents hit only 206 against him last year. And he throws hard, fastball, curve, and he has a good changeup.
Yes, a changeup that really has put more thought into the hitters' minds after as hard as he throws many times into the triple digits. He has a great feel for that off speed down in the zone.
So the first batter to face him is Johnny Giavitello, who's already had a triple today. And the pitch that's in there for strike. Dylan G worked the last 2 innings for Kansas City, and he gave up 1 hit, no runs, walked the batter, and did not strike out any. Right-hander against right-hander as Herrera is ready, and the next pitch way high with that one for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Averaging around 8.5 strikeouts per 9 innings in his career. And around 3 walks. Well, one thing Herrera does very well, he keeps it in the ballpark. Did not allow a home run in 70 innings back in 2014.
Here's the pitch on Giavitello. He chops it to the shortstop. Mondesi is there. And he's throw get Johnny for the first out. 6-3 ground out. Yunel Escobar will be the next hitter. He's had a single today and is 2 times up. Angels have had 4 hits, trailed by a run here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1. Escobar leading off as far as Mike Scioscia's lineup today. Here's the pitch, and that is low. It misses ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Herrera and his strikeout ratio has been higher in the postseason than the regular season. In postseason experience, he's got 38 strikeouts in 28 2/3 innings and a 1.08 whip. And that's why all the talk about Nate Yost having the ability to really go out there and shorten games. And now without Greg Holland, and that triangle, of course, used to be Herrera, Davis, Holland. It's moved backwards a little bit more now, with Holland eventually having the issues with his arm.
There's one that's fouled off, and they brought back Joaquin Soria, so we'll see if Herrera still stays in that 7th inning role that he's been accustomed to with Kansas City. But you look at their bullpen, and they really have about 4 different guys who could be closers.
No doubt. What a luxury that is.
And this is one of those guys, although he hasn't really had an opportunity to close for Kansas City. There's one fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
Look at the Yankees, and with the addition of Aroldis Chapman, who will be missing the first 30 games in a suspension. But with Chapman, they have 3 guys that could close ball games, along with, of course, Miller.
And they have Betances there.
Boy.
Here's a line shot that's going to drop into shallow left center. A low line drive single off the bat of Escobar. So he's on, and now we'll see what Daniel Nava can do. He's had a walk and a fly out so far this afternoon, the switch hitter.
Well, line drives coming out of the bat of Yunel Escobar. You see why he was one of the best hitters in the National League last year. Very steady with that swing short to the baseball, and really does not try to lift. That swing we see in batting practice, he's easily translated with experience into the ball games.
Nava had a big day yesterday. We'll see what happens here. His 3rd at bat this afternoon. He takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
The way I see this lineup panning out, a perfect scenario. You'd have Nava batting 2nd. A healthy Nava, career on base percentage, 358. It's ideal for him to be hitting at the top of the order and setting up for the guys following him.
He takes that one on the outside corner for a called strike.
That way, if you use Cole Calhoun to protect Pujols, then you have the matchup situations that are not as ideal for opposing managers later in games with the righty-lefty combinations.
Herrera is ready. Here's the next pitch. That's lined into right field, but there is Orlando to make the grab. It was hit close to him. Nava hit it hard, but he's retired. That's the second out. And the batter now will be Mike Trout. Trout's been on base a couple of times today, although without a hit, a fielder's choice, and a walk.
Over hard contact there by Nava. This one had a lot of topspin on it. Did a good job hitting on that fastball. So let's see, Terry, which Angel will hit the first home run of the spring?
Well, let's see if Trout can get a hold of something here. Herrera doesn't give up many homers. The pitch on its way that's in there. He gave up 5 last year in 72 relief appearances.
And this combination 3-4 for the Angels combined to hit 81 home runs in the regular season. Trout, Pujols last year.
1 strike is the count here on Mike Trout. Backs out of the box. Here's the pitch. That one is low. So the count even on Mike Trout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels have out hit the Royals 5-4, but trail at 2-1. In the bottom of the 5th inning from Tempe. Cloud cover most of the day today. Very comfortable weather here. 77 at game time. There's one low again.
Well, Mike Trout had a very good idea on that breaking ball. He did a good job guessing right and following and tracking that baseball all the way in. And he's a very good guess hitter, especially with 2 strikes or in breaking ball counts where he can go out there and just dip that shoulder, wait, and explode. Go for something hard here.
Here's the pitch on Trout. That's way high and outside. Look at Trout's pants and a lot of dirt on those pants, and he did that early in the ball game when he tried to steal second base, did the head first dive into second base on a pitch that Cole Calhoun ended up fouling back. So it didn't take Trout long to get that uniform dirty. Here's the pitch. That's a little squibber on the right side. The pitcher Herrera off the mound fields and gets Trout, and that's how the inning will end. So the Angels fail to score here in the bottom of the 5th. We are headed to the 6th inning in Tempe. It's still 2-1 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the 6th inning. Here's the deal for all Angel fans. $19.95 gets you Proactive plus a rotating deep cleansing brush. It's valued at $45. You are guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or you'll get your money back. Call 1-800-644-5944. That's 1-800-644-5944. Javi Guerra is the new pitcher for the Angels, number 5 of the day. And here's his first pitch. That one's right in there for a called strike on Lorenzo Cain. So Guerra replacing Albuquerque, who gave up 3 hits and a pair of runs last inning. Albuquerque is the Angels pitcher of record now in this ball game. Seen Guerra one other time this spring, and the pitch that's fouled back to the screen. So the count 0-2 on Cain, who has struck out and flied out.
Guerra, one time a Dodgers closer.
We were talking earlier, we'll see the Dodgers here on Wednesday. Guerra pitched briefly for the White Sox last season. And here's the pitch. That's a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's always had the speed, the good arm, but not consistent with that separator, the wrinkle, the breaking ball, or the outspeed.
Here's the next pitch, and that one bounces by the Angels catcher Carlos Perez. So the count on Cain, even up, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Of course, anytime you talk about good arms, there's a lot of very good arms in the minor leagues that never make it to the big leagues, and that separator becomes not necessarily just another pitch, but command. That's it, command. And what do you do with that fastball?
There's a cut and a miss, and Guerra polishes off Lorenzo Cain. So Javi Guerra up to a good start, his first inning of relief, and the batter now will be the cleanup man, Alex Gordon, who's had a 1-for-2 day.
Good start for Javi. There it was. Something else, different look, same arm speed, and you see the whiff.
Here's the pitch. That's a little bit low and inside. Javi Guerra was a prep teammate of outfielder Austin Jackson, and Jackson's one of those guys who's still trying to latch on with the team here as spring training is now underway.
Apparently the Angels made a run at Austin Jackson this offseason, but the terms were not acceptable.
David Freese still out there as well. That has some people quite surprised. There's a pitch inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike as we see sunshine, bright sunshine once again.
I've talked to scouts here in spring training who said David Freese has had offers, but again, not to his terms.
Count is 2-1, and the next one on Alex Gordon inside, ball 3, 3-1. Guerra fastball, and he was back in a Dodger uniform. He would top out around 98 miles per hour, slider, curve, and changeup. Here's the next pitch. That's chopped foul right by the plate.
Out here today with the Royals is the outstanding designated hitter, who was actually voted the best DH. Kendrys Morales. 22 home runs, 106 RBIs for the former Angel for the Royals last year on their championship run.
Here comes the next pitch. Grounded sharply on the right side. Sounded like he cracked his bat. The ball right at Giavitelli. He throws out Gordon. And that is out number 2. Salvador Perez will be the next batter. Some of these Royals hitters who are batting, especially in this inning, it might be their final at bat of this game. The Royals spring training camp is in Surprise, Arizona, and they've been at that facility, Surprise Stadium, for 14 years now, their spring training base, and they did some renovating of that facility, and boy, they're getting some rave reviews. Some people are saying the Royals home clubhouse for spring training is bigger than any current home clubhouse in Major League Baseball.
Hey, there's a nice partnership between the city of Surprise and the Royals, and also with the Texas Rangers.
Those two teams share that stadium, but they do not share clubhouses. They have one on the Kansas City side and one on the Texas side. But apparently they did a lot of good things in the offseason to accommodate both those teams. They don't want to lose either team.
It's worked out great. I can't believe it's been that long already. Is it 14 years?
This is the 14th season at that stadium. Yep. Here's a pitch that is inside, and that is a 4-pitch walk. So Perez on.
Really gone are the days, and I can tell you the former Royal of good old Baseball City, Florida.
Yep.
Haynes City.
So Perez on at first, thought maybe they might pinch run for him, but he's going to hold on to first base over there. 2 outs. The batter now is Orlando. He's gone 0 for 2.
In fact, as you mentioned, the Texas Rangers, I was also with the Rangers for some time in the minor leagues, and first spring training that I went to in a place you know very well, Pompano Beach.
That's right. And they don't have a spring training site there anymore, but that is a town close to my heart because that's where my mother lives.
There you go. Mama Smith.
Yep. She might be tuned in today as we speak. Here's the pitch. That one is low.
But I'll tell you, a town that's going to be alive and kicking soon again is West Palm Beach for spring training sites.
That used to be a base for the Expos many years ago.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
For spring training and also for a single A ball club.
Here's the pitch. That's fouled off on the right side, backing out play. What I see the other day, Bartolo Colon is the last remaining active player who played for the Montreal Expos.
With the retirement of former Angel Meiser Estouris.
That's right. Yeah.
Meiser recently announced his retirement as he was an invitee to the Toronto Blue Jays camp.
There's a pitch that's low. It bounces between the legs of Perez, so that will move Salvador Perez up to second base. Ball getting away from Carlos Perez. Wild pitch. Yeah, mentioning the old Montreal Expos, that town, Montreal, there have been some rumblings in recent years that they would like to have Major League Baseball come back there.
Making a strong case.
Had some exhibition games featuring Toronto play in Montreal in recent years. Here's the pitch. That's a liner right at short. And Simmons was there waiting and had to do a little jump step. Holds on to that line drive, and the inning is over. So Kansas City blanked here in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Royals are leading the Angels at the moment 2-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels getting ready to bat, and Albert Pujols will start things off. Chien-Ming Wang, former Yankee, on the comeback trail, signed a minor league deal with Kansas City as pitching, and the first one that's in there for a called strike.
It's good to see him back on the mound. A long time an imposing figure, but a guy that went out there and won some ball games for the Yankees.
He had back-to-back seasons for New York a number of years ago where he was a 19-game winner.
And that's what he did, get a lot of ground balls.
That one was chopped foul by Albert. So the count is no balls, 2 strikes. Lots of changes for Kansas City. We'll pick those up for you in just a bit. And the pitch, that one misses for a ball. So the count is 1-2.
Pujols making his spring debut. Full out to shortstop first time up. And grounded into the 5-4-3 double play. You can see it just a little bit out of touch on the release point and the timing. Expected this early on most hitters.
Next pitch grounded sharply down to third. Ball bobbled by the third baseman, but Albert not running real well. And recovering and throwing him out is the third baseman. And that is Caliste over there, Orlando Caliste. Cole Calhoun will be the batter.
With contact there by Pujols, allowing the direction of the baseball and the pitch to pull it hard. Good job, Caliste, staying with it and knowing who was running and not rushing the play.
So here is Cole Calhoun. And the pitch from Wang, that one misses for a ball. When Chien-Ming Wang was at the top of his game with the New York Yankees, he was a guy who was getting people out with a very good sinker.
Oh, very heavy,
yeah.
Especially because of his stature. He had a little extra movement and tilt on it.
Here's one bounced on the right side. Coleman is over there, and his throw is in time to first base. And that'll be the second out. Dusty Coleman is the new Kansas City second baseman. Their new first baseman is Balbino Fuenmayor.
Did you say Bambino?
No, I said Balbino.
Oh, okay.
But he looks like the Bambino over there.
Yes, he does. He is a well-known Venezuelan slugger.
He's played a little independent league baseball in the past as well. And we were just talking about the Montreal Expos. He's played independent ball in Quebec, Canada. As that pitch on C.J. Cron misses ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Former Angel Drew Buter is the new catcher. They also have a new shortstop. That is Ramon Torres, as that pitch is in there for a strike. New left fielder is Terrence Gore. Alex Gordon no longer in the ball game. Lorenzo Cain is left as well, and Ramon Fuentes is the new center fielder, and Jorge Bonifacio is the right fielder. There's a ball hit to Torres at short. This throw to first is in time, and that will end the inning. So the Angels go down on 3 ground ball outs against Chien-Ming Wang. 6 in the books. The 7th is coming up here in Tempe. Still 2-1 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at the Big A. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites. Now, the Angels have made wholesale changes as well. There is a new pitcher for the Angels, Lucas Litke, and the new battery mate for him is Jet Bandy. Bandy behind the plate. Angels also changing a lot of other spots as well, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So the first pitch from the left-hander Litke, it misses outside for a ball. The batter is Orlando Caliste, and this is first time up for him. He's hitting out of Cuthbert's spot in the batting order, number 7 spot. And the next pitch chopped down to third. That one misplayed a little bit, and dropping the ball, then throwing late to first base is the new Angels third baseman, Jeffrey Marte. It figures to be an error on him. That ball was hit right at him.
You could not have asked for a better hop coming into a game to field the baseball, and Marte again comes up short here on the defensive side.
So an error all the way on Marte. And that's the second error against the Angels today. And stepping up to the plate is Balbino Fuenmayor.
And Balbino, like a Bambino, has big power.
Here's the pitch, and he takes that one for a strike. He wears number 99, and he is a big man. They list him at 6'3", 230. I got to think he's a little bit heavier than 230 pounds.
230 maybe a few years back.
I was going to say maybe at birth or something. Here's the pitch. That one is fouled off.
He's a good story, though. As he talked about, being an independent baseball and being a guy that's well known in winter ball in Venezuela, and getting this chance here to at least show something early in camp with the Kansas City Royals. Terry, you just never know where some of these guys are going to come out from. I mean, Daniel Nava played independent baseball before he reached the minor leagues.
Fuenmayor hit a total of 17 home runs last year between AA and AAA, and he just got hit by that pitch from Litke. So 2 are on here, nobody out. And let's pause for stations to identify themselves right here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer-engineer Darren Chan with you here from Tempe, where we have a tight ball game. It's 2-1 Royals. 7th inning just getting started. Here's the pitch. This is popped up by Drew Buter into center field, circling under. Making the grab out there is the new center fielder, Quentin Berry. And on that play, tagging at second and moving over to third base is the base runner, Caliste. The other base runner stays at first base. So the top of the batting order now here for Kansas City. And this is Ramon Torres. Litke is set. Here comes the pitch. There's a bunt, and it's pushed on the first base side. That's easily going to get the runner in. A safety squeeze puts Kansas City up 3-1. Litke fielded the ball. By the time he got to it, the runner was just about crossing the plate, so the only chance for an out was first base. In time to get Torres, but he squeezes home a run. It's 3-1 Kansas City.
One of those plays that, boy, it's not by design, but just on awareness and creativity from the batter to understand that you can push that ball to the right side. The runner just has to read the direction of the ball coming off the bat and make it an easy run.
So we have 2 outs in the inning, and here is Dusty Coleman batting. First time up for him. He's hitting out a Cologne spot, the number 2 spot. Cologne went 0 for 3. First pitch of ball to count, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next delivery, and that one is outside. The rest of the defensive changes for the Angels here in this 7th inning. The new first baseman is G-Man Choi. C.J. Cron has left the ball game. Angels also have a new second baseman, Gregorio Petit. And Cliff Pennington is now playing shortstop. Simmons is no longer in the game. Here's the next pitch, lifted in the air into center field, and diving and unable to make the grab is buried. Now the ball's by him. This might have a shot to be it inside the Parker. A run is already scored. The batter's going to get the third, and they will hold him up. Dusty Coleman ends up getting an RBI triple as he drives in Wenmaior all the way from first base. Well, Barry gambled there, tried to make a diving catch on that one, never quite got to it, and then having to back up was the new Angel right fielder, Rafael Ortega, to come up with that baseball as it rolled deeper into center field.
It's ill-advised there on Barry not getting a good look as to how that ball was traveling and also tailing away from him. Effort plus, but that decision a costly one considering who was running at second base. And that ball drops. A very heavy Mayor was trying to score, and that might have given Barry a better chance to perhaps throw him out. Even though on 2 outs he's going to be running in contact, would have been tough anyways, but you're better off serving and just keeping that ball in front of you. Nice job by Rafael Ortega, backing it up.
So it's 4-1 Kansas City, and Raymond Fuentes will be the next batter. This is his first at bat. He's hitting out a Lorenzo Cain spot. Cain went 0 for 3. Left-handed batter Fuentes. Here's the pitch. That went in there for a called strike. Angels also have changed left fielders here this inning, as Daniel Nava left the ball game and Nick Buss is now out there in left field. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
So the Royals once again, they stole 3 bases in the 5th inning, scored twice. A costly mishandle by Givotella. They made him pay for that. Now this inning starts by the error by the third baseman Marte, and there they go again, capitalizing on the error and the hit by pitch. Just love the safety squeeze, Terry. I don't see why more teams don't use that. Got to practice it enough to make people feel comfortable with it, both the hitter and the runner, and also know which situations are better to do it against. But Joe Madden, Tampa Bay Rays, just convinced a lot of big league people that it is a good play.
Yeah.
Good to see Joe once again back with the Chicago Cubs, implementing his style of game, no matter what league.
Here's the pitch, chopped on the right side. The second baseman Petit will handle it. His throw is just in time. Fuentes was running fast up that first base side. The inning comes to an end, but the Royals come up with a couple. The error in the inning by Marte proves costly. Otherwise, they might not have scored any runs in the inning. They get 2. They had 1 hit, 1 error. The batter was hit by a pitch, and they leave a runner on base. 7th inning stretch time. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Angels are trailing Kansas City 4-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Cliff Pennington batting for the Angels, who trail 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th. The first pitch to him was a strike. This one taken outside. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike on Pennington. He's batting for the first time in the ball game. He's hitting out a Simmons number 7 spot, and that's outside. Chien-Ming Wang is still on the mound for Kansas City.
You have that typical inning that many people around baseball witnessed a lot when he won 19 games. 3 ground ball outs, an easy 6th inning.
Here's the pitch, and trying to hold up on that one is Pennington, and he went around, so it's 2-2. The real damaging inning, or a couple in this ball game for the Angels. Kansas City getting 2 in the 5th and 2 in the 7th. The Royals only had 1 hit after the first 4 innings today. Here's a chopper hit to the first baseman, Wenmeyer, and he will solo to the bag, and Pennington is an easy out. So Wang is getting that sinker to work. He's retired 3 in a row on the ground. Chien-Ming Wang, we mentioned a couple of big years for the Yankees in 06 and 07. And then he missed nearly 2 full seasons in 2009 and 2010, and that was as a result of a right foot ligament problem, partially torn tendon, and that came about in the 2009 season, and that came on a play when he was batting and running to first base.
Of course, that activated the argument of controversy of pitchers running and interleague and DH and all that stuff.
Right. Here's the next delivery. That one is a little bit low.
But then from that, Terry, came hip abductor muscle weakness. From that came right shoulder surgery, shoulder fatigue, left hamstring, all so many things that happened because of that injury.
Yeah, might have been trying to compensate. There's a pitch that's cut on and missed by Ortega. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wang has looked pretty good here so far in this ball game.
Very effortless, just allowing that ball to naturally move downward. You can see also that longer pause he has as he starts his delivery with his hands over his head.
He pitched 1 scoreless inning so far this spring coming into today's action. There's one fouled back by Ortega. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You just never know how things will pan out for you in spring training. Consider that the guy that started today for the Royals, Chris Young, did not sign with the Royals until March 10th of last spring training. Ended up playing and pitching great well into the postseason.
Here's the next delivery. This is a liner into right center field. That's going to be a base hit for Ortega. He will make a big turn. He's going to gamble, go for 2. The throw, it is late, and that is a hustle double. Well, the last couple of days, you really have to like what you've seen out of Ortega. He's doing things with the bat. We saw that cannon-like arm that he has in the outfield. And he's at second base here with 1 away. And G-Man Choi gets ready for his first at-bat.
He was one of the earliest acquisitions by New Angels general manager Billy Epler. And we can see the abilities he has, and perhaps the Angels needing some depth. And some guys that can help you in many ways. So far, Ortega has shown the legs, the range, a solid bat control, and of course, a very strong arm.
So here's a switch hitting Choi batting left, and that one is in there for a strike. This is a matchup of a pitcher from Taiwan and a hitter from South Korea.
G-Man Choi has looked very well for both sides of the plate, making contact, the consistent swing.
Wang is set. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back to the screen on the out-of-town scoreboard. It's brought to you by Jeep Cherokee. An estimated 31 miles per gallon highway. It's the perfect choice. Visit Jeep.com for more information. Cactus League, 6th inning. Milwaukee leads Cleveland. And now let's update that game. That game is tied 3-3. Cowgill and Napoli, a couple of former Angels, hitting home runs for Cleveland in that game.
What?
Colorado with a 5-1 lead in the 7th inning against Cincinnati as the pitch is fouled off out of play. 7th inning, Dodgers lead the Giants 3-2. 7th inning, White Sox have a 3-0 lead against a Padres split squad. Jose Abreu is homered for the White Sox. We'll see the White Sox here tomorrow in Tempe. Sixth inning, Tampa Bay, or in the sixth inning, Seattle has a 4-1 lead against Texas. Fifth inning, Arizona's leading the Cubs 4-3. Dexter Fowler is homered for the Cubs. Pitch missed, a snap throw to second, and having to hustle back as Ortega beats the tag. And also in the Cactus League, Oakland has a 5-0 lead against a Padres split squad in the sixth inning. By the way, the attendance today, Jose?
What do you got?
9,097. 9097. Big crowd here. Pitch fouled off on the left side. And staying alive is G-Man Choi.
The Red Faithful and also the Royal Blue in action here with the world champions. Always great to see the many people that make the trek from Southern California on the weekends especially. And then the line of fans, Harry, just all the way in that walkway to the backfields to get a close look and nice glimpse of their players.
Here's the pitch, and that one is low. So it's 2-2. Want to remind poker fans, play in the Gardens Casino $30,000 guarantee, no limit hold'em tournament this Friday. Visit thegardenscasino.com for more info, and please play responsibly. Angels down 4-1 here in the seventh. Choi takes that one outside from Wong, and count now goes full 3-2. The catcher Drew Butera wants to go out and have a word with his pitcher. Royals last season had some success bringing in some veteran pitchers who were just trying to keep their career going. Guy who started today, Chris Young. There's a pitch cut on and missed, and down on strikes goes Troy. That's the second out. First strikeout for Wong.
Nice formula there from Wong. I mean, everything looks the same coming out of his hand, and then takes even more off of that off speed with a big hand open and nice movement.
Kansas City last spring had some reclamation projects, if you will. Ryan Madsen, Joe Blanton, Chris Young. And they're hoping maybe a guy like Wong could turn out to be a project that pans out for them this spring.
And the Royals have their issues, believe it or not, with quality starts. They had amongst the lowest quality starts in all of baseball, but it didn't matter. We have that type of bullpen.
Shin-Ming Wang last pitched in the big leagues in 2013 when he made 6 starts with Toronto and had a 7.67 ERA in those starts. Last year he was in AAA. The year before in AAA. Not in the Kansas City system, though. The pitch bounced on the right side. This is Nick Buss batting, and that one hit right to Dusty Coleman, the second baseman, an easy play, and the inning is over. Angels had a 1-out double, but that was it here in the bottom of the seventh. The eighth inning is coming up. 4-1 Royals on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have another new pitcher. Deolis Guerra takes over for Javi Guerra. And Angels now will move to the 8th inning in this ball game. Also, as Guerra comes in, last inning when Litke was pitching for the Angels, in his 1 inning of work, he ended up giving up 1 hit. Although a couple of runs, they were not all earned. He did hit a batter in the 1 inning of work in the top of the 7th. Did Litke. And did not Walker strike out anyone. So Deolis Guerra, big right-hander, will take over. He's ready to work, and here's his first pitch. That one misses high for ball 1.
He is out of San Felix in Venezuela, 6'5". Angels plucked him out of the Pirates system in the Rule 5 draft this past December.
Here's the next pitch that's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. Terrence Gore is the batter. This is his first at bat. Gore is in left field. Replaced Alex Gordon at that position, and he's batting out of Gordon's spot. Alex Gordon went 1 for 3 today. Here's a ball. He bunts and fouls that one off. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gore. Gore is a guy who can really run, very good speed. Spent most of last season in the minors. Little guy, he only goes about 5'7", 167 pounds.
And one of those players that has become a difference maker by just having him on the bench. And he's been up in the big leagues. He can really run.
Here's the pitch. He takes that one low and inside. 2-2 the count. Guerra, who's pitching for the Angels. This is his second appearance this spring. A scoreless inning, his only other outing. Big right-hander is ready, and here's the next delivery. Grounded sharply right to short. Pennington has it. Gore can fly, but he's thrown out, and that's the first out. 6-3 on the ground out. Salvador Perez, who's their designated hitter today, is still in the ball game. He'll get ready for his 4th at bat.
Well, they're chanting his name, so he stays in for another AB as a DH. Get those legs a little bit of rest and still get your timing in with a bat.
Here's the first pitch to Perez, and that's right in there for a strike. He's got 0 for 2 with a walk.
Pretty nice breaking ball there to begin the at-bat by Deolis Guerra. 10 games with the Pirates last year, 2-0, 6.48 ERA. Show the power arm, 17 strikeouts in 16 2/3 innings, but also allowed 26 hits.
Oh, 2 is the count now on Salvador Perez. Kansas City is yet to win a game this spring. Beaten a couple times by the Rangers, lost to Padres, lost yesterday by a run to the White Sox. Here's the pitch, and this one is hit on the third base side. Marte has it, and his throw to Choi is in time. That's the second out. Salvador Perez retired by Deolis Guerra, and with 2 outs, the batter will be another new hitter batting for the first time in the ball game, and that is Jorge Bonifacio, who is now playing in right field. He's hitting out of Orlando's spot. Pablo Orlando hit the ball hard today, but didn't have much to show for it. Went 0 for 3, lined out a couple times, hit a ground ball to third pretty hard as well. First one on Bonifacio, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
The Royals, pardon me, acquired a guy that they believe was going to really eat up some innings for them, Ian Kennedy. Signed as a free agent. He also had to ride out the wave of free agents. After seeing the top guys get paid, then came round 2.
2 balls, no strikes, the count. Here's the next pitch with 2 outs, and checking on that one is Bonifacio, and that one is a pitch and misses as well. Angels so far this spring, it's kind of been feast or famine. The Angels had 9 runs yesterday, scored 8 on Thursday against Oakland. But in the opener against the Giants, just 1 run. Shut out on Friday against the Cubs, and the Angels have had only 1 run today. Here's a ball. It's hit well into left field. It's going to take a bounce and hit off the wall in left field. Going into second is Bonifacio, and he is there with a 2-out double.
That's a pretty good whip on that bat right there. He's got one of the home runs for the Royals this spring. Wasted no time in getting the ball middle in where he was sitting the whole time.
So I guess so far, Jose, here in the early part of the spring, game number 5 today for the Angels, you're looking for a little bit more offensive continuity.
The time, we hope that it all comes, because the Angels know the importance that will play going into this season. Continuity, consistency, and spreading out that lineup. You don't have a better example of that than the team you're playing against right now. And talking about that, Terry, I mean, consider Kansas City last season, Terry, they used only 83 different lineups. Guys knew coming into the clubhouse where they're going to be playing and who was going to be playing and where they're going to be hitting. The Angels used 125 different lineups compared to Kansas City's 83.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball lifted into right center field. That ball is struck well. It's a gapper, and it's going to split both Berry and Ortega. It bounces out near the warning track, and hitting the third base without a throw will be the batter Caliste, and scoring from second without a throw will be Bonifacio. And now it's 5-1 Kansas City. This coming with 2 outs, a 2-out double followed by a 2-out triple.
Look for mistakes, and there's the same approach we see from the starters too. Same result, man in scoring position, spread the ball around, and allow the pitcher to dictate how he might want to get you out, but also be ready for a mistake by staying ready to hit the big part of the field. They have been big with 2 outs here today.
So here is Balbino Fuenmayor. And the first pitch on him with 2 outs and a runner at third. That's in there for a strike. Picking up on what you were saying about lineups, the one thing about that, Jose, that can be a little bit deceiving, because if a team has injury issues, the manager has to, you know, change up the lineup. If you stay healthy and you stay productive, well, of course, you're going to ride those horses.
Consider, too, that you move one guy. One day, that's a different lineup.
Right.
You know. Yeah, through the years, Mike Soja used many combinations and variations of a lineup. But, yeah, it speaks of health, guys' consistency. At one point, actually, Nate Yost moved Alcides Escobar out of the leadoff spot, and they were not the same team. And I think by now we all know what Alcides Escobar means to this ball club when he leads off.
There's a pitch that's low. Well, what was it, a year or so ago when Alex Gordon was struggling? They actually moved him down to the 8 hole for a while, and there was also a time when he was leading off for them.
Finding a way to get you going sometimes at the top or in the bottom. And for Escobar and for many around baseball, not your prototypical leadoff guy. His on-base percentage last year was .293, or many people would not have even considered him an option to lead off. But there he was.
2-2 is the count.
In fact, when they moved Escobar out of the leadoff spot, they were not the same ball club. But there's something he provided at that spot to make the rest of the lineup better and more productive.
Here's the next delivery. That's chopped on the third base side, and that one skips under the glove of Marte. He has had some defensive issues here early in spring training. He let that ball play him, and it skips under his glove. They're going to score that one a hit.
That is one generous base hit right there. Saw it happen here recently, too, where the ball hit the two-hopper to Caleb Coward. And this is a ball that perhaps, even though not the easiest of hops, is a play that you as a third baseman expect to make.
Yeah, well, he made it tougher by not charging. He laid back on it, and then he got caught on that short hop. So now it's 6-1 Kansas City. That'll be an RBI single. They've had 3 straight 2-out hits. Drew Butera is the batter. And here's the pitch on him. He takes that one for a strike.
Albino Fuenmayor saying thank you very much. Terry, you just never know where the next Chris Colabello might come out of.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was a guy in independent ball for 8 years, and now he's a regular in the big leagues.
A very productive regular.
Here's the 0-1, and that one is a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas City has done their scoring in 2s today. They had 2 in the 5th, 2 last inning in the 7th. They've scored 2 more here in the 8th. Angels had a 1-0 lead in this ball game for a while. There's a pitch in there for a strike, but that lead disappeared in the 5th inning when the Royals got their first 2 runs. Big right-hander Guerra is ready. Taking time now, delivers. And that one a little bit outside on Butera, 2-2. Be interesting to see if Drew Butera ends up being the Royals' backup catcher.
Got competition now with a guy with plenty of experience behind a Gold Glover. And Tony Cruz, who backed up, as you mentioned earlier, Yadier Molina for so many years in St. Louis.
Here's the next pitch. Butera thought about chasing that one, lays off it. And the pitch is ball 3, so it's a full count.
Butera got his ring. And what a welcoming sight it was for him when the Angels let him go. He ended up in Kansas City on his way to a world championship.
Drew Butera was on the Angels opening day roster last season.
But that opened the door for the Angels to bring up Carlos Perez.
Yep. So a payoff pitch is on its way from Guerra, and he misses with that one low. He walks Butera. 4 straight have reached base safely after the first 2 were retired. So Guerra really struggling to get the final out here. Next batter up will be Ramon Torres, who's had 1 at bat, and he dropped down a nice squeeze bunt. Charles Nagy is going to go out and have a word with Guerra.
And there's a clock. Right center field for the pitching coaches.
The clock is ticking.
It's down to 19 seconds for Charles Nagy to get back.
Yep, you have 30 seconds to make your point. Get back to the dugout. Fans, don't forget the Angels return to the Big A for exhibition games against the Dodgers on Saturday, April the 2nd, and the Cubs on Sunday, April the 3rd. Get your tickets today at angels.com. Well, the clock has expired.
And there's the umpire, Dana DeMuth, saying, Charles, remember, these are new rules here. Speed it up.
So Torres will be the batter. He bats from the left side. First delivery. And it's a off-speed pitch in there for a called strike.
That was already pitch number 26 here for Guerra this inning. Well, we saw Tropiano solid 2 innings. Saw Morin scoreless 1 inning. Rasmus scoreless 1 inning. Albuquerque gave up a couple. The other Guerra, Javi Guerra, threw a scoreless inning. Lidke gave up a couple of runs.
Count is 0-2 here on Torres. Guerra fastball curve has a good changeup. Takes a look at second. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Next delivery, and that went a little bit outside. So it's 1-2. Guerra, big guy, 6'5", goes about 245 pounds.
Just don't see him throwing the ball with confidence. I mean, there's certain guys he should be challenging more, and he hasn't.
Here's the next pitch. That's popped foul left side. It's going to get back and out of play. After the ball game, Jose will be down on the field. A visit with Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
I am.
And then on, I believe.
Okay. We're set for that.
That's what I was told. And Jose and Alex Curry will have the Fox Sports West post-game show for you. We'll wrap it up on the radio side from press row here in Tempe. The pitch that's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Well, one thing for sure today, and we were wondering what would happen here. We mentioned the crowd, over 9,000, very big crowd. Close to a sellout here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. But there's kind of Royal mania right now after they won the World Series. They have a lot of fans that they're here for Kansas City today. There's one that's waved at and missed. Down on strikes goes Torres. Good off-speed pitch really fooled him, and the inning is over. But a pair of runs in the inning for the Royals. They had 3 hits, a walk in the inning, and they wind up leaving 2 runners on base. Bottom of the 8th is coming up. Angels need some runs, trailing Kansas City 6-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Driven. Angels getting ready to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jet Bandy will lead it off. The bottom of the 8th, it's brought to you by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana. Rotolo Chevrolet is pursuing excellence every day. You can visit them at Rotolo.com. That's Rotolo.com. As Jet Bandy gets positioned in the batter's box, he will be facing another new pitcher for Kansas City. Their fifth of the day. His name is Brian Flynn. He is a lefty, and the first pitch is in there for strike one.
Yeah, and for Jed Bandy, hoping to get into something and show that power that we know he possesses. And he has pretty much been putting on a show in batting practice on some long balls.
Next pitch from Flynn. That's in there for a strike. Brian Flynn is a big left-hander. The Royals got him from the Marlins back in November of 2014. He goes 6'7". Big guy. Of course, they had Chris Young start the game, 6'10", former college basketball player. Here's one that's tapped foul by Bandy, and the count on him is 0-2. Tomorrow, when the Angels play their game here, and the Angels will have two games tomorrow, but the game here will feature Hector Santiago facing his old club, the Chicago White Sox. Eric Johnson will pitch for Chicago. There's one that's low and in. And in the other game, which will be in Goodyear, Angels and Reds, that's going to be Matt Shoemaker against Cody Reed. Tuesday, the Angels will be on the road taking on the Diamondbacks, and Garrett Richards will pitch that ball game at Salt River Fields against the D-backs. Here's the next pitch. A liner on the left side, through for a base hit. Jet Bandy is on with a leadoff single.
Yeah, it sounded very well off of his bat. Mike Such talks about Bandy progressing, of course, as a hitter, where he showed some power last year in AAA, but also what he's been able to do and transfer all those drills, all the input from the backfields, catching structures throughout the minor leagues, into now being a better receiver with better footwork.
Here's Gregorio Petit batting, and that pitch is in there for a called strike. Seeing a little bit of Petit so far this spring. He's a player who's had some major league experience. There's one foul back. New Angels GM Billy Epler familiar with Petit. He was with the Yankees for a bit last season. 20 games for New York. And he can play several infield positions. Oh, 1 pitch on Petit. That's high and outside. The only Angel run came way back in the bottom of the second, and that scored on a sac fly. There's a swing and a miss by Petit on that 1-2 delivery, and he is a strikeout victim. So out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. That is only the second strikeout recorded by Kansas City pitching today. And the only other one came last inning when Choi struck out against Chin-Ming Wang. Wang was pretty impressive. He retired 6 of 7 today. Allowed 1 hit, no runs with 1 strikeout.
Terry, he made it look very easy.
He did.
Playing catch, allowing that movement to dictate those ground balls, and really doing a good job in his altered delivery and staying over the rubber. And not trying to overthrow where the ball flattens out, and he is not as effective.
At the plate for the Angels is Michael Strintz, and he chops the ball on the right side to flip to second for 1, the relay to first, and that is a double play. So Strintz, batting out of Pujols' spot, hits into an inning-ending double play, and that'll do it for the Angels here in the bottom of the 8th. No runs in the inning. Angels had a hit, no errors, nobody left. The 9th is next. Royals up on the Angels 6-1 in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have a new pitcher. His name is Cody Satterwhite. And he is up from minor league camp. He was not in the Angels organization at the start of last season, so we don't have a whole lot on Cody Satterwhite, but he is a right-hander, has some good size, and he is ready to work. Dusty Coleman, the batter to face him, and the first pitch, it's lifted in the air down the right field side. Ortega has a beat on it, and straddling the foul line makes the catch in fair territory. So 1 up and 1 down. Fuentes will be the next batter. Satterwhite, last name spelled pretty much the way it sounds. Satterwhite. Cody Satterwhite.
Going out there and showing what he can do. One pitch went out.
And the first delivery, that one is a little bit inside on Fuentes, and the count 1 ball, no strikes.
Anytime you are in a situation like this, like Satterwhite is, of course, you are hoping that those calls keep going to the minor league camp. Say, hey, bring him up again. Let's take another look at him.
Yep. Guy that might not necessarily be on the radar screen can get on it by getting one opportunity, making the best of it, and then earning some more chances.
Hey, one of the best things when you reach minor league camp that morning and they say, hey, by the way, show up on the other side today.
Here's a high pop behind second, a foot or two back on the outfield grass is Petit, the second baseman, and a couple of balls in the air. 2 outs for Satterwhite. Pop out to the second baseman. Terrence Gore will be the next batter. Gore, since coming in, is 0 for 1. First pitch, that's in there for a called strike. There's a cut and a miss. So the count jumps to 0-2. Satterwhite at one time was in the Mets organization. And there's a pitch that misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cody Satterwhite went to the University of Mississippi and was drafted by the Cleveland Indians at one time. Didn't sign with them, and then ended up being a second-round pick of the Detroit Tigers. That was in 2008.
It will give a huge boost to your signing bonus by moving up.
Pitched at AAA Las Vegas last year. 57 games, all in relief in AAA. Had a 4.38 ERA. Satterwhite looking in for the sign, and that pitch holding up on it is Gore. Mentioned Satterwhite, good size, 6'4", 235-pounder. Here's the next delivery. That's a liner right up the middle. That's a base hit. So on a 3-2 pitch, Gore gets a single. Ninth inning stays alive for Kansas City.
That's one of those times when you, as a hitter, and Terrence Gore apparently has a lot of fans around here too, you got yourself that pitch to handle and to smack up the middle.
How about Salvador Perez still hanging around for his 5th at bat of the day?
Chances are he's not going to be on a diamond tomorrow in the regular game, but you never know.
Well,
maybe he asked for all these at bats, and Ned Yo said, whatever you want, go out there and get ready.
Perez has gone 0 for 3 with a walk. Satterwhite's pitch, and that's outside. Angels will have one more shot when we get to the bottom of the ninth. 6-1 Kansas City. Here's a bouncer hit to third. Marte has this one. Just throw right on the money to Choi. And the inning ends on the ground out to third base. Not much happening for Kansas City in the ninth. The Angels are down by 5 as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's 6-1 Royals on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, no freezers, no microwaves, no heat lamps ever at In-N-Out Burger when it comes to burgers, fries, and shakes. Always fresh is the only way. Why not stop in after the game? First batter up for the Angels is Quentin Berry, and the new pitcher for the Royals. And Kansas City using their sixth pitcher of the day. His name is Brooks Pounders. He lives in Temecula, born in Riverside. And the next pitch, that one evens up the count. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Pounders went to UC Riverside, spent 5 seasons in the Padres system, and is a graduate of Temecula Valley High School. Here's the next pitch, and that's a pitch in there for a strike. Brooks Pounders, big guy, 6'5", 265-pounder. And he was moving around in the Royals organization a year ago. There's one that's fouled back behind the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the next delivery, and that one is inside. It misses, and the count 2-2. Mentioning Pounders, who's pitching for Kansas City, I said he pitched at UC Riverside. That was actually his dad who played college baseball there. His father, Brad, and his dad was a player in the Padres system. Pounders has been playing professionally since 2009, and there's Berry trying to hold up on a pitch, and he goes around on that one, struck him out. So Quentin Berry is retired, his first at bat of the day. And now Marte will be the next batter. This is going to be his first time up. He's hitting out a Crone spot. And the pitch hits one right to the shortstop. Torres has it, and the throw is in plenty of time for the out. So just like that, 2 quick outs, and the Angels down to their final out in this ball game. Cliff Pennington will be stepping up. He's gone 0 for 1 since coming in. Jose is headed downstairs. He'll visit with Angels manager Mike Scioscia when the game wraps up. Here's the pitch, chopped right to the first baseman. This is likely going to do it, and it's stuffed over there by the first baseman, Fuenmayor, and the unassisted putout will wrap up today's ball game. So a very quiet bottom of the ninth for the Angels against the right-hander Brooks Hounders. Angels end up dropping it today by the final score of 6-1. Angels record now here in Cactus League play stands at 2-3, and Kansas City wins for the first time in the Cactus League. They have a record of 1-4. Saw some good pitching from the first three today that worked for the Angels. Tropiano looked good in his 2 innings as he retired all 6 batters in a row. Mike Morin had a scoreless inning right after Tropiano worked the third. Corey Rasmus a scoreless inning. Al Albuquerque struggled a bit in his appearance today. Gave up 2 runs in 1 inning. And now let's go down to Jose Mota standing by with Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
Thank you, Terry. Well, Mike, 1 game for Pujols. What did you see, and what is the plan going forward with Albert?
Well, Albert, he needs to get some at-bats, but running down the line, there was no limp. He feels good running, and that's a good sign. Tomorrow he'll DH again, and then we'll give him a day off, and then just kind of read him from there.
Well, caught your eye on Nick Tropiano and the way he was throwing the ball, mixing pitches in, working down to the zone. And how much can last year's experience help him here?
Everything you said. I think used all his pitches, commanded counts. His changeup was really good, life on his fastball, good slider, and I think coming into the camp this year, there's no doubt that he's a step ahead of where he was last year. I think the experience of pitching in the big leagues and showing pitching some good games, has to give Nick confidence coming into the spring.
What and how much should we read into the lineup and the way it's composed right now, or the mixing and matching that you've done so far?
Well, we have a little time to take a look at some things. The lineup, as we saw today, is a nice blend if guys are in their game. If guys are struggling, obviously we'll adjust from it. But you saw the first inning. I mean, we get Trouty and Albert and Cole up with guys on base. That's our goal right now, and we can adjust. Going to give it a little bit of a look here.
Even though it is early, what are the things that you want to see your offense do a little bit better here in the early going?
Well, guys need to get some at bats first and get their sea legs onto them and get going. I think they're. I think there's a deeper team here than maybe some people see. We definitely want to get the running game going. We want to be able to press the offense, and I think we're going to be able to do those things.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, Jose, thank you.
Terry, you enjoy a beautiful Sunday, my friend.
Right back to you, Jose. Always a pleasure. Angels end up dropping it here this afternoon by the final score of 6-1. We remind you the Angels will have a split squad game tomorrow, 1 here and 1 in Goodyear against the Cincinnati Reds. The Angels will host the White Sox here tomorrow. The final again, Kansas City 6, the Angels 1. For those of you watching on TV, Jose along with Alex Curry will have a lot more post-game analysis, and on the radio side we'll have some more for you from Tempe in just a moment. This is the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.